For me, being at Sebring means connecting with a community and maintaining those connections, because they last a lifetime and they go a long way, because when they see the cars they like, the camps that are surrounding them, and the cookouts that go with it, they feel that they're at home.
Came here probably in the late 80s, and off and on, but early 2000s I've probably made about half of them. It's just a very well attended event. Everybody's really excited about the racing. It's always a good time.
I've been coming here for 46 years now, and the Sebring Experience changes and gets better every year. The main part of the Sebring Experience is really the famous. When you go to the infield area, you go to Turn 10, you go to the Sarasota Racing and Drinking Enthusiasts, you go to the Racing Flamingos, you can go to any one of these different campsites and they welcome you in. They're just wonderful folks. And it's a really good time, and there's so many different places to watch this race. All due respect, if you go see oval track racing, you're in a seat, and you sit there and you watch the entire race from one seat. Here, you walk around the track and watch it from different areas. When you start the race, you want to be down in turn 1. Later on, you go over to the S's, 3, 4, and 5. Later on, you come down here to the hairpin, where we watch all the time. Turn 10 has a great encampment full of wonderful folks, and have elevated an elevated area where you can watch from up high. And then, of course, when the sun sets, you want to be over at Sunset Bend.
This is over at the Green Park Chicane. Ford asked me to put this in. There are, what are we kind of, 8 cars in there, if you can find them. A couple of 917s. There's a Golf 917 behind Vic Elford and LaRousse. There's the Matra, the Ferrari, 908 Porsche, and a couple more Ferraris. Editors are cheap. No offense, George. Editors are cheap. They want as many cars in the shot as they can so they don't have to use up space in the magazine to use other shots. And plus, I was working what they paid me minimum against space. They paid me a minimum day, but if they use more pictures, they pay me more. So they didn't want to use more pictures because they didn't want to pay me more. Okay, next shot. This one I kind of liked it. That's a Green Park Chicane again. That's the 3rd place Camaro of Mark Donahue, and I think Craig Fisher drove that. And the winning 907 short tail Porsche. You never know how the race is going to end because you shot as much as you could, but now with a digital camera you can shoot 1,000 images of the race. I was shooting maybe 40 rolls, and I was shooting 2 1/4. I'll show you what these. If you could hand those to me. Thank you, Mr. Hughes. This is an example of I always shot Hasselblads, not Nikons. This is a Hasselblad. The image format, meaning the size of the negative, is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 inches. It's about 4 times the size of a 35 millimeter. So what you got was a much sharper, much less grain image. The problem is these were slow cameras. A Nikon would do 3 shots a second. These would do 1 shot a second. So I would shoot 2 ways. I would shoot. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, not yet. We'll get that in a minute. I would shoot both editorially for the editor, what he wanted for the magazine, and then I'd shoot beauty shots for me. And nowadays when I go back, I never agreed a lot with the editors on stuff. We ran a shot one time. It was Andretti was out of focus in the background and someone else is in focus in the front ground. I said, why'd you run that shot? I said, well, everybody knows what Andretti looks like. I said, oh, come on, you know. So it was always a battle between the art director and the photographer. The art director wasn't at the race. He was picking what you sent him. And he may or may not like what you did, what your eye was.
First time I remember seeing and knowing who Bill Warner was, all of us, I finally graduated to a Nikon F, and that's what almost everybody else had. But I walk up to one turn, and here's this guy that has a Hasselblad with a lens on it, literally going down to his shin. That, you know, a telephoto lens that must have weighed 20 pounds in the Florida sun on the 5.2 mile circuit. You know, that is a real man.
this. We decided to put him in our Hall of Fame. You know, his thing's up there. And I called him, he had his hanger out here in his office, and went out and told him we were going to put you in the Hall of Fame, and he said no. He said, I'm not good enough to be in your Hall of Fame. So I had to sit there for an hour and tell him about him. And he said, oh, okay. And so we
Remember, he finished 6th overall first in GTO with a TR8
Yeah.
against
And
all the Porsches and everything.
in the Trans Am race,
Yeah, well,
first place,
that was,
Trans Am over.
yeah, that, you know, people would say that Jochen won the first
Yeah, he
Trans
did.
Am race in the Alpha.
Yeah, but he was
But
in the
Bob would really get on that. He says, no, I won it because the Trans Am was for the V8 cars. He was running in the under 2-liter class. And so yeah, Bob finished second in the Dodge Dart.
And I'm not thinking of, he passed Tuesday
Yeah.
at 4:45. And I'm sure he wanted 4:44.
A quick question about, I was a public affairs officer with the Florida National Guard for years. And one year when I finished, I bought the TR8 from Tommy Ciccone, TR6 from Tommy Ciccone. Brian Personal did the engine, my guy did the body. So we finished the car, I called him up and said, Bob, would you come down to Savannah and help me sort out the car? Bob said, oh, Billy, you know, I'm glad you got the car. That's a tool of my trade. I'm not interested in it. He said, well, you ever want to fly an F-16? Yeah, can you do that? I said, sure. He said, you come down and help me sort my car out. I'll get you a ride in an F-16. You can take the stick. I didn't know how I was going to do that. Went down the hall to my commander. Said, General Green. I said, yeah, Warner. Says, you ever want to fly in a P-51? He says, yeah, can you set that up? I said, you give my friend a ride in the F-16, I'll get you a ride in the P-51. So he flew down the 51, they both did go down, you know, Bob went in the F-16 and gave my commander a ride in the P-51. I sat back and I just got my car sorted out thanks to the U.S. She's 25 years old, she's been through 30 surgeries. So my goal is to raise money. So, Emilio Island Concord Delegans, one of the guys on it, bought a PPG pace truck on internet for 20 grand something. It looked like a pace truck for a gay parade. It had all sorts of colors. It was green, yellow, purple, had seats in the back, had a light bar, had a retractable license plate, really cool. So I took it to RM and Rob Meyer said, that's more of a Meekum thing. We called Dana Meekum, put him in the auction. They put us in first vehicle on Thursday. I said, Dana, this thing's gonna die, first vehicle on Thursday. So they moved me to noon and it died. We made 10 grand on it for spina bifida. We should have made about 30 or 40 grand. Anyway, Dana says, I feel bad about that. He says, let's sell something this year. I said, well, I don't have anything to sell. I don't have any cars I want to sell. And he says, oh, we'll sell air. What have you got? I said, well, I got this photo of Andretti, which I'm really proud of. It's my best shot in 60 years. I'll have Mario sign it. So they put best wishes, Mario Andretti. Go to the auction. He said, I'm going to put it right before the Bachmann Ferraris run. So that everybody's ready. Everybody's ready to spend money on cars. At the end of the auction, I was in tears. It brought $60,000. So I've retired that image now. I won't. It's still out there. People will use it, but I'm not going to make that image anymore. And Rick Hendrick was the one who bought it on behalf of Spina Bifida. I did bring a few books. My book is The Other Side of the Fence, and that came from my sister. My late sister, she told me when my parents gave me a camera, says, you know what this is going to get you? I said, no. I says, on the other side of the fence, meaning if you had a press pass, you were on the other side of the fence.
There was no one to pick us up when we got lost on the path
make friends, the kind of friends that become family to you. And that's what Sebring means to me.
When they come down to the actual hairpin, there's a safety pin there now. But the LMP cars, or the GTPs that they were called, they would shoot a flame out the back about like this. You'd see the rotors of the brakes glowing red in the night. It was really something to watch. And there's much more lighting here now than there was then. It's a lot easier to see the cars. Back then, you saw headlights and maybe a glimpse. So it's a different experience, but it's a better experience. Vendors, there's great food, there's great people, and some of the best cars in the world. Come Wednesday or Thursday if you want to see all the cars, because it's the series wrap up, they leave. So if you come Saturday and expect to see cars, the only cars you're going to see are the ones that are on the track. So come early, plan to stay, and plan to have a great time.